Episode 16, Graham Potter and the first half rinse.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. How are we?
All
nice
good,
weekend?
Mate. Yeah, it was alright. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. As some of you listeners may know, I did get into the marathon over the last week, and it was my first run. I'll be running for Motor Neurons Disease Foundation and hoping to raise over £3,000. And if you'd like to donate, any of your listeners, the link's in the bio at the bottom of the description. So feel free to drop down there. But speaking of long distances, onto my teaser. Which player has scored the goal from the furthest distance in the Premier League?
Premier League history.
Premier League history from day one. Which player has scored the furthest goal, basically?
Okay.
The distance was. I've really butchered how I wrote that.
No, I've got a... Okay, that's fine. I'll wait.
I've got a top 5 here, so if you're in here, then we can go from there. So that is the teaser.
I like it. Yeah. Well, anyway, quick congratulations, I suppose, on getting into the London Marathon. Like many of you know, I did try, but I got a terrible injury, so it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm sure next year I'll be helping you out and with donations and running and organise some bits. So yeah, good luck, and yeah, like you're saying, just if you can donate anything, then yeah, feel free.
The bunker is a beer-free zone at the moment.
Yeah. The bunker is now a pure hydration station. So
maybe some Prime. Maybe
Yes.
some Prime on the way. So only one place to start, really, as the title says. Graham Potter and the first half rinse, and we'll head on down to the Amex.
Yes, and what a game it was, wasn't it, for Brighton?
It was De Zerbi's first win in charge of Brighton, and Graham Potter's first loss.
It was, yeah. I mean, not like I didn't know, but I didn't really take much notice of the Potter start, really, and how well has done, really, results, and they've barely conceded. They've made them like quickly a very, very solid side, but I think it was one of them. The Brighton game was just like written in the stars, wasn't it? It was obviously they got thrashed, but yeah, Potter's first game back. Obviously, De Zerbi hasn't got a win yet. All the Brighton fans were well up for it. It was like probably, I think it was I've got here a sellout crowd for Brighton. Their biggest attendance they've ever had, 31,746. So they were definitely well up for it. And yeah, Potter got beat, didn't he?
Yeah, I heard it was their highest ever attendance, and watching the game back, the tone was sent from literally the first 3 minutes, where you saw Silva's poor pass out, and ended up having to head the ball off the line twice.
Yeah.
First from the original goal kick, and then from the corner.
Yeah, that was before they even scored, wasn't it? It just everything, not against Chelsea, but like you said, Silva, who you talk to most Chelsea fans, and they obviously wax lyrical about him, how good he is, and rightly so. And at the weekend, he probably had his worst game in a Chelsea shirt, and yeah, just weird. Like they could have scored in the first half, couldn't they? After they'd gone 1-0 down. But yeah, 4-1 in the end, wasn't it, to Brighton?
Well, yeah, Trossard opened the score in the 5th minute after already having 2 off the line. That was his 5th goal under De Zerbi, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's the first person to score the first 5 goals for the new manager,
which is mad, isn't it?
Which is like a stupid, ridiculous stat, but like, how's that even happened? And yeah, De Zerbi, first 5 goals all scored by the same person, Trossard.
And then first 5 goals were a hat-trick against Liverpool, a goal away at Man City, and then a goal against Chelsea.
Yeah.
So he's scoring
big
against
games,
good teams.
Big moments, yeah.
A player that is up for grabs in January, 6 months left in his deal. Playing for Belgium, he'd be in the World Cup as well, he'd get in the squad. And then shortly after the goal, Ruben Loftus-Cheek slotted his own net.
Yeah, they'll just
from the corner, wasn't it?
That just summed them up, though. They just summed up Chelsea's day, and they just, from that moment, it was never gonna be good. And yeah, just Loftus-Cheek just shoved one in his own net.
And I think Pulisic missed an absolute glorious chance.
Yeah.
After that.
I think Gallagher or someone had a shot or something, and it fell to Pulisic. And
might have been Sterling, I think.
Yeah, and he just come off his shin and just went wide, didn't it? And his head was in his hands, and he knew what an absolute shocker of a miss it was.
And then Chalobah put one in just before half time.
Yeah, just add more woes to their game, wasn't it? Really?
It was the first time Chelsea have ever scored 2 goals in a single game. I just think they look so lacklustre. Chelsea start looking at them 1 to 11. Kepa in goal. You had 3 at the back with Cucurella, Silva, and Chalobah. Sterling and Pulisic. Pulisic, wing
Some might
backs.
call him that.
Some also do call him the LeBron James of football.
The American Messi.
Kovacic and Loftus-Cheek in the middle, with Mount, Gallagher and Havertz making up the front 3. Actually, look at that team. I think that's so average, man.
Was it the team selection from Pulisic, from Potter? Just like I said, the wing back Sterling and Pulisic. They made 4 changes from their last week's Prem game where they drew at home to United 1-1. So yesterday, I think they only made 3 from their midweek Champions League game, and Pulisic and Sterling have both played wing backs in that game. So he obviously was confident in them, but you just think, yes, hindsight's a beautiful thing and it's very easy to say, but it just on paper it just looks horribly wrong, doesn't it? And it just doesn't. Why? I don't know why.
Both their wing backs both got subbed. Even when they had Chilwell on the bench, it's just Sterling hasn't left Man City to join Chelsea to play left wing back.
Not at all.
Just
and people moaning and saying, "Oh, he's rubbish. Like what? He's not a good player." Well, no, he didn't play wing back for Man City, and he's not going to go to Chelsea and be a wing back and be brilliant. Like he doesn't play that. That's not his role. Yeah.
And the back 3 of Cucurella, Silva, and Chalobah leaves a lot to be desired, to be honest.
And that myth of a stat of Chalobah starting
is now gone. Thank God.
Yeah.
As quick as it came in, I was like,
"Thank you, Brighton." That is gone. Yeah.
There are shouts for him being in England squad. No.
Yeah.
Talking of England squad, have you seen the thing that got announced about 2 hours ago?
The 55-man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he released it or?
I don't know but Welbeck and Lewis Dunk are in it.
I've seen and
that guy. Well,
a few rogue names in there, but to be honest, 55 players, top English footballers. They've not that Danny Welbeck should be in there, but do you know what I mean? 55 players, like that's loads of random players you wouldn't even know will be in that. So
probably apart from Trent.
Yeah, maybe not Trent but yeah, I mean, yes, everyone's laughing like Dunk's in it and Welbeck's in it, but yeah, it's 55-man squad. So I think you'd be pretty disappointed
if you weren't in it. If you were of any calibre. 3-0 at half time. I was like, wow, that's a great start from Brighton. And then Chelsea obviously back in. I think makes a couple of changes at half time. Yeah. And
I think that was as well. They took the goalie off, didn't they?
Kepa was injured
because he was going down in the first half with something like his calf or whatever he had, and he carried on playing. And I think the bench and Potter were probably thinking, "What the bloody hell's going on?"
Not like he hasn't done that before.
No, he plays to the half and then comes out and Mendy's in goal. So obviously something wrong with him. But I mean that's just another. Not an excuse, but it's just another thing added on top to what's already happened in the game. It's like, all right, now we've got to change a goalie at half time. Just another terrible moment for Chelsea on that day. But yeah, Mendy was in goal, and he just had another shocker, didn't he?
I would rather Mendy, if as a Chelsea fan, I'd rather Mendy than Aspley. I know he's been playing well, but I still think he's a shocking goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But if that starting 11 plays next Sunday against Arsenal, I would fancy our chances.
But yeah, especially
surely they can't play that same 11. Chilwell's got to come in. Cucurella can play. There's still that left centre back. Reiss James is still injured and he's out for the World Cup. Surely Aspley comes in, or
they've got the options to totally change, play 4 at the back, or play the 5, but play a Chilwell like you said. They've got the options, but for whatever reason, he's gone for those 2 at the minute. And like
Aubameyang will score anyway next week. So.
Even
why is he not playing?
I know. It was a weird one. It's such a weird one. And like you said, Potter's gone back to Brighton, and then he's suddenly doing a madness of a team. Just go there with what's we've sorted you out so far and win the game. Like it's just mental. I don't know why they do it.
Because like you said, they've sort of gone under the radar Chelsea a little bit since he's come. They've just sort of grounded that a little 1-0 here, a 2-1.
Yeah, they're unbeaten at 9. He's won 6, drawn 3. So. I mean, that's across all comps as well. Like obviously Europe and Premier League, and I think he's only conceded maybe 4 or something like that. So it's quite low.
Because Kepa's, it was the first goal I think he's conceded in the league or something like that.
And obviously they've scored. Yeah, they've conceded 4, and obviously they've conceded 4 against Brighton in one game. So Potter gone in just under the radar, done his job. But yeah, that weekend game,
they're all singing "You're going to be sacked in the morning."
Yeah, they were going crazy. They're whistling and booing and giving him a right load.
And then going into the second half, Havertz scored shortly after half time, didn't he? You had Gallagher's lovely little cross and a header, wasn't it?
Yeah, header. Quality ball from Gallagher.
Second goal in the week for Havertz. And then the rest of the second half was a bit of a non-event, really. It was a bit end-to-end and that. And then Gross finished it off. I think it's his 4th or 5th goal this season now. And
like we said, when Potter was in charge of them, they've just got a few of those sort of players. Gross, Trossard, Solly March pops up every now and then. Welbeck does a job. They're just all round like a good little side, and yeah, Gross sort of scored the fourth for the weekend. But again, that's the goalkeeping there, and Silva was at fault. Just a bit all over the place, wasn't it, from Chelsea? Really, a bad day, a very bad day.
And that leaves Brighton sitting in 8th on 18 points. Their first win in 5, I think it was, because under Zerbi they've lost, drawn, lost, and obviously now they've won.
Only 3 points off Chelsea as well in 6th.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now. Yeah,
pretty good.
With Wolves up next, so you'd imagine they could probably potentially get 3 points there. Been a very good start for Brighton, though. I think they're could be dark horses for that 7th place for the Conference League.
Yeah, and if De Zerbi, like you said, they got, I think it's the Wolves away and then Villa at home before the World Cup. If he gets 4 points from those, has a break at the World Cup, comes back in the new year, and in that time has sorted a few things out and set in a few plans, whatever he wants, then they could be a very, very good side again in the new year. Which I wouldn't say I'd be disappointed if they weren't, but obviously Potter this year had started brilliantly, and you just think, it'd be almost nice to see him continue that form and still be a good side, not just because Potter's left. And hopefully, in the new year, that's what they'll do. Yeah,
they're one of them teams where you don't really mind them doing them well, because they like I said, they've got nice players. They don't
until they beat us home and away, and we're not fussed. But at the moment you quite like a Brighton.
Arsenal have got a really bad record against Brighton since they've been in the Premier League, barely beating them at all.
Yeah,
they've beat us a lot, but. They seem to set up well against big teams. I was quite disappointed when they played you, and it was a 1-0 win. They didn't really seem to do much.
It was nothing.
This
like
is
the game.
Exactly what they're capable of.
Yeah, and it was nothing like that. It was a total different side when they played us. But I don't think they've ever beat Chelsea as well. I think they've.
Yeah, it was It
was like 12 losses or 11 losses and 4 draws or something stupid. They've never beat Chelsea and obviously smashed them at the weekend.
Yeah, they were saying that on Soccer Saturday. That was the first time they'd ever beaten Chelsea.
15th attempt, sorry. So, they've drawn 4, lost 10 up to the weekend, and obviously got the win.
And Potter had a bit of a hump, didn't he, in the post-match conference? So they were singing in Potter. It was, I think, basically...
I've done so much for the club.
Done so much for the club, left them in a good position.
Yeah, but...
on the field and off the field, financially.
Yes, I'm sure the fans love him, but in the moment, in a game where you still want Brighton to win, you're going to go at the other team, aren't you?
Just take it on the chin.
Yeah, it's just it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, div.
Right, shall we move on from Brighton to the Leeds United game? It was a Saturday night game, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
7:45. I don't really get these 7:45 games. Why is this just not played on Sunday so everyone can watch it, enjoy their Saturday night doing something, going out to the pub or something? But there we go. I did not have this result on the cards. I don't know about you, but
no, I would have said 3 or 4 Liverpool to 0 as well.
Going back to last week, I think we all were thinking, here come Leeds' downfall. They've got Liverpool up next, they've got Man City.
Thing, it was teed up, and it was like Liverpool away, then Marsh. If they lose, Marsh is gone. But how wrong were, I imagine, most people that have any interest in football.
And Liverpool really have this. I don't have the exact numbers, but at least in the last 15 games, 13 of them or something like that, they've conceded the first goal.
Yeah. And
already after 4 minutes, what on earth is Gomez doing?
Yeah, 8th time out of 12 conceded the first goal.
I knew it was something.
That's not and obviously they haven't lost every single one of those games, and you don't lose every single one of those. It's not how that works. But if you're conceding first, you're already on the back foot. It doesn't matter if they score in the first minute or the 72nd. If you concede first, you're already up against it.
You already got to get 2.
Yeah. And that's something Liverpool don't do, and they haven't done for years. But you're already up at push on the back foot, and you're in a tough spot already.
For that goal, you blaming all on Gomez, or is Van Dijk or Alisson got to take some?
It's just so. Oh, sorry. Atletico just nicked one. 2-1 Porto. It's just a weird one for me. I don't know. Gomez. I don't think Gomez. He didn't really look, did he? Sort of just subconsciously thought, right, Alisson, he's going to be in that area, I'm just going to knock it back and he's going to clear, I'll be absolutely fine. But that slight error, he gets it horribly wrong. Alisson is moving, the ball goes the other way and Rodrigo nicks in and taps it home. But that just sums them up, doesn't it? It just sums up Liverpool a minute. Gomez having a stinker, and
like you said, Gomez didn't look at Alisson. Alisson didn't look at Gomez. Gomez has gone out to Alisson's gone out to get the ball on his right foot, and then Gomez has passed it onto his left.
Yeah. And Gomez done it outside of his right boot. It's just all wrong.
Van Dijk caught his heels, and then Rodrigo's gone in and slipped one in.
with a terrible knee slide celebration. 1-0 lead.
After 4 minutes. And, I mean, the lead wasn't held from barely after 10 minutes, and Salah scored one. A lovely little cross from Robertson, and then Salah was a little volley past Meslier.
But then when that went in, you think, oh, right, here we go. Like, they'll turn it on now, 4-5-1. Not that Leeds were done, but yeah, it's just Liverpool at home is very difficult, isn't it? Very hard, but...
And Liverpool had enough chances in that first half. I remember I can picture the Nunez chance getting played one-on-one. Bloke just looks so weird. Like, I don't get him. He's just like...
And there's that clip of him just sprinting back. Everyone's he's so fast. Like, so what? Like, we had DeAndre Yedlin. He was so fast, but he's also awful at football. So, yeah, great. He's rapid, but I don't know. Yeah, like you say, he is that chaos factor, isn't he? He's just a bit of a fucking...
I've not heard DeAndre Yedlin or Royale.
Well, right now, Yedlin probably. I'll take Carl Norton.
Carl, is he still at Swansea?
Unknown, but I'd have him.
Mighty hell.
I'll have Phil Ifill. If you know him, then...
Who was the Swede you had who scored that worldie against Liverpool?
Eric Edmund.
Edmonds, left back.
Left back. Left-footed wand.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the original Viking. But yeah, Nunez. Klopp keeps trying to praise him. Obviously, he's going to do that. He's his brand new signing at 85 million. But yeah, he's not. He hasn't. It's hard. It's really hard because obviously Haaland's come in and set the world alight, and they're going to compare him straight to Nunez. And Nunez, I think he scored. Is it 5 or 6? I think.
I don't know, but this was what I was going to get onto. You said like he was first compared to Haaland, and now I've seen for the last week and a half, now he's getting compared to Jesus. Now they're saying he scored more goals than Jesus. Like, you've already downgraded your £80 million striker. Now you're downgrading to our
But he has scored one more goal. One more goal on Jesus.
Don't care.
In what is before the game of the weekend? It was before Nunez has played 440 minutes less and scored one more goal than signing of the summer.
Them numbers I didn't give. I'm not swearing in this episode, so I couldn't give two hoots about it. No. I know which one is a better player. Looks a better player.
But the Liverpool fans will definitely be using that whenever they can. So
he looks like he's done a load of speed before he starts the game. Like, I don't really know.
Dead, isn't he? I don't know.
He's like that Looney Tunes character. What is it? The Roadrunner.
Yeah, they just wind him up before the game and let him free, and that's it. Go.
But for me, he's such an un-Klopp and un-Liverpool player. Yeah. But I just don't get.
Well, if you look at him and Firmino, for example.
Yeah, they're completely different.
Totally different styles, totally different players, all sorts. So
I just don't get it. Like, he's £80 million they dropped on him, and he said he's just an un-Liverpool signing. If we think from the player that he's been bought to sort of replace and such was Mane, who is a pressing god, goal scoring. Like,
he's a winger, can play right, left, through the middle. Nunez, he's just
And nobody knows. A little thing on Mane. He played 20 games at Bayern, 11 goals he's scored already, and that's what they're missing.
We'll get on to more in depth about Liverpool, but they've just struggled to replace him, I think, with immediate effect. Obviously, they tried that 85 million with Nunez, and at the moment, we're not even halfway through the Premier League season, but he's not looking like the same Liverpool, are they? It's not the same Klopp. They've got a lot of aging players now. They're in a difficult spell.
I mean, I think in pre-season, their obviously hopes are high because they'd played every single game last season, and then obviously everyone knew Mane was leaving, but Salah had just scored a silly amount of goals again last season. They'd signed Diaz in January, who looked really good.
And they had Jota fit.
Jota was scoring goals, and then they just signed Nunez for £80 million. So this things were exciting, and they were thinking, if Mane wants to leave, let him leave. Yeah, we'll let him leave. But it also shows how important he is. I mean, that doesn't not take away from Liverpool that they have been unlucky with injuries.
Yeah, I mean,
in that forward line.
Yeah, their midfield, for example. I mean, their midfield, I think, is a massive problem, and that's been highlighted by lots of people. But their midfield quickly. So they've got Thiago and Henderson, who are 31, Milner's 36, Fabinho is 29, Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain just plagued with injuries. I don't think they've played 2 full games between them both. Curtis Jones, who's 21, Harvey Elliott, who's 19, and Arthur, probably the worst signing of Premier League history, has played 14 minutes.
I put
in the Champions
Arthur
League.
Lol.
Yeah, I think he could be arguably the worst sign ever. But yeah, like I said, 14 minutes in Champions League game where they got battered against Napoli. So
and he's out till February.
He's out for a long time. But all those players I mentioned have missed games for injuries, apart from Milner and Fabinho and Harvey Elliott, who's obviously young and inexperienced, trying to carry a very, very good title-winning side. And it's I think that's a huge issue. And Klopp might even knew that at the start of the year. I think he might have looked at his midfield and gone, well, we are like very vulnerable here, and lo and behold, they've struggled massively.
Well, Fabinho's been so poor this season, hasn't he? For some player who's been arguably the best CDM in the league for the last 3-4 years, you could argue top three definitely. He's just had a really poor season. Like, I remember against Arsenal, didn't even start.
No,
even playing that bad. And like I said, like Keita's probably been a poor signing, probably been their worst big money signing. Ox is just a cheerleader for the whatever Little Mix. Just stop.
And he just struggled with injury, so
just
never
go away, play for someone else. Like
Southampton.
Play for Southampton. He just annoys me. Thiago, fantastic player, but again, like I said, injury prone. And then you got your aging players, Milner and Henderson,
who are good and they're fantastic professionals. They've done it all, but like we said before, you can't rely on these sort of players. If you're Liverpool and you want to compete with City and win Champions Leagues and whatnot, they can't be playing week in, week out.
Well, we actually mentioned this on the first episode, didn't we, about how their midfield could be an issue.
Yeah.
The thing, what you've got to give Liverpool for credit the last 5 years, every single player has been at 100%.
Yeah.
To match with City. I mean, apart from the one season lockdown that they dropped off and then they finished 4th, didn't they, after they just won the league. But all them players have been playing an absolute full belt for all them time, and this is the season they're really dropping off, and you can tell that that just shows how good they were to keep up with Man City all them time.
And I just think, like you said earlier, but last season they done everything they could. They obviously took the league to the final moments. They got to Champions League final. They won the League Cup. They won the FA Cup. I just think that was such a high. That was such a big moment for them. Klopp got to the summer, thought, right, we need to rest and recover. They've made a big signing in Núñez, but like you said, sold a huge player in Mane. And I just think this season, they're just struggling massively with that sort of hangover, if you like, of that previous season there. And they're almost, some players like Trent, for example, even Van Dijk, they're probably trying and thinking about it so much and trying their absolute best that it's going the other way and actually having a negative effect on how they're playing.
I mean, it sounds like, but how do you even top that? I know they obviously lost.
Yeah.
They lost out in the final day of the Premier League and then lost the Champions League final. But since the start of last season, Liverpool have played more games than any other Premier League team. 81 games.
Yeah,
they've played, and that comes off the back of the third shortest pre-season gap between only 63 days since the Champions League final and the opening game of the season.
Yeah, and yes, they're professional footballers, they get paid all that money, all that blah, 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 but yes, there's 60 days between the Champions League final and the start, but they would have had maybe 2-3 weeks of actual nothing, but then they know they have to keep fit, so they're doing they can on their own terms, and then they're going into pre-season training, so yes, it's 60 days, but it's not 60 days because they've got to train and keep fit. So. And
some of them players are playing on that nonsense Nation League. I think Van Dijk was playing in it up until God knows how long. It's just, they're sitting in 9th, Liverpool. 12 games they've played. 4 wins, 4 draws, and 4 losses.
That is inconsistency to an absolute T, isn't it? That is just Liverpool at the moment. Like you said, 4 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses just sums them up perfectly.
15 points off Arsenal at top of the league. 8 points off top 4 with a game in hand. So it's not disastrous.
And they're 9 points off, worse off than they were last year. So it just gives you an idea. Obviously, 3 wins that they would have last year, they don't have this year. So
with the mighty Tottenham Hotspur up next.
Yes, Tottenham Liverpool away, but Tottenham got Liverpool at home. So
and not only in midfield and in attack are they struggling with injuries. Also in defence, is Gomez good enough for Liverpool?
Joe Gomez. I got a little bit about Joe Gomez. I don't know. There was definitely a lot of hype, and he was young when he first moved. He was obviously when he was 18, 19. There was a big expectation from him. He was the next best thing, and rightly so. He probably was brilliant, but he's unfortunately he can't. It's not because he's bad or good, but because of the injuries, his career has been affected massively, untold amounts. And so I've got here, Gomez started 10 times already this season and played 4 times in Champions League already. He only made 20 appearances in the league over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
that shows
he's already played 14 games, and he's in the last 2 seasons only made 20 appearances in the league. So the bloke obviously doesn't play consistent football. He might be brilliant, but his injuries have totally just got in the way of his career basically. And again, he obviously keeps getting picked, and Klopp trusting him because he knows and sees that player, but ultimately he's held back through those injuries and his setbacks, and maybe he's just not the right person. That's why players like Matip have been good for Liverpool, because they've been there all the time. But
do you think Van Dijk's always the automatic pick, and then you've got the other three of Gomez, Matip, and Konate?
Yeah.
And Gomez for me is solid third choice out of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not like I don't really watch them closely and think, oh, Gomez is brilliant, and there's lots of people out there who would say that, but yeah, do you actually watch them? Do you see them week in, week out? I don't know. And yeah,
England squad?
Nah, not for me.
No, not for me. And talking to Van Dijk, it was his first game he's lost at Anfield, wasn't it?
Yes.
After he brought the record up last week or 2 weeks ago. 70 games, wasn't it?
Yeah, 70 games, 59 wins, 11 draws.
Which is not bad.
Take a little question for you. Who was the previous holder of that record?
I'd never lost.
At home?
Not for Liverpool, just any...
It was a Premier League player. I'd say it was a bit of an old school player.
Jens Lehmann.
No.
Was it not?
No, it's a United defender, in fact. He's not a household name, if you like. It's not
Mikel Silvestre?
No, it was Lee Sharp.
Oh, was it?
Lee Sharp, yeah.
I was going to say your mate Gabriel Hansen.
No, yeah. No, Lee Sharp, 55 games from 1992 across 4 seasons for Man United.
It's not bad.
Yeah, pretty good. Obviously, didn't play as much, and he was a bit part player, but yeah. So Van Dijk's record, again similar to the Chalobah one everyone bangs on about, is gone.
It was gone due to, I'm going to absolutely butcher his first name here, but Chris Christisia.
Yeah.
Help me out here.
I've just got Somerville. I've got his surname.
Someone said it earlier on the radio. I was like, oh, such a lovely name.
Yeah.
I've
seen his name. No, on Twitter.
I've got it here. I can't read it out.
It's like 4 or 5. Everyone's like, oh, what a name, but no one can actually say.
Cry-Sentisico. I absolutely butchered that. Apologies. Somerville gave Leeds their first win at Anfield since April 2001.
Yep.
6 months before Somerville was even born.
Real. And that's their first win since August.
Yeah, so this must...
We're in November.
So, Jesse March, fair play for the silly at the end.
No, unreal. No, that's awful.
Unbelievable.
March, he just needs to be questioned. He needs to be sat down in a room and questioned.
That could have been my winner of the week, but it's been out-trumped from what I saw over the weekend. That was unbelievable silly.
It's just
flicking of the wrist as he turned around.
Obviously, no one expected it, but him more so than anyone. You see him turn around, he's just complete shock, and then he started flicking his hand about. He's just such a weird bloke. He's such a weird.
After Somerville scored a great touchdown.
yeah. Huge touchdown.
But that's what must pull these managers' hair out. Like he said, first win since August. And they beat Chelsea and they beat Liverpool away. Like, who does that?
Bear in mind, they're now 15th.
Yeah.
So they're in the bottom 3 going into that game. They've won a game and they're now 15th. And yes, they're only 3 points off relegation. But if you look at the table, Leeds are 15th. That's all right. We must be doing all right. But yeah, haven't won since August. So,
I mean, yeah, they did get a bit lucky. With the second half, didn't we? They got absolutely bombarded. Meslier made 9 saves, didn't he?
Yeah, Meslier was brilliant.
Is very good. What's his name? Cooper made an absolute shocker of a mistake and got let off the hook.
Cooper was terrible.
Cooper is terrible. Like we said last week, he's just absolute championship because he's captain. He plays
huge championship.
Nunez was just Nunez and missed a few chances. They just looked
Leeds
short of ideas. Liverpool,
but then to be honest, the game Leeds versus Liverpool, you watch it, they're quite similar really. They all worked and ran, but there was no, like, Liverpool weren't that same fluid and quality on the ball, and Salah looked like he was going to score all the time. It all looked very similar, and they were just both basically butting heads, and Leeds eventually got the winner in the 89th minute. But yeah, I've got that Leeds ran 121 kilometres, Liverpool ran 110. So to a man, a kilometre each more. So that, and there's lots of stats. They made more high intense sprints and more tackles and things like that. But obviously, the ultimate stat is that Leeds won 2-1. But maybe those running stats and that the work and effort is quite simply what won in the game, and Liverpool maybe aren't doing that this year. Then that's probably another factor why they're not that dominant side they usually are.
I mean, it's the old cliche, you make your own luck. And like I said, if you are running and putting in that extra mile, extra kilometre... the ball's going to fall for you, or you're going to win a tackle that might lead to a corner. Just silly little things that might happen. So because the winner comes out of nothing, really. It's a cross from the left-hand side. He sort of takes a touch inside and scores. And
Bamford takes a touch that goes over his head, and Somerville just pokes it home and absolute scenes.
Where has that come from?
Yeah.
What I love about Somerville, from literally... I don't know the exact time, but from the second that ball touches the back of the net to his shirt being off, it's so quick.
Yeah. I saw a bet as well, or someone said about a bet over the weekend that I think it was 1-1 that someone put it on, and they said Somerville to score next and get booked. So obviously this person has pictured exactly that last-minute goal, top off, yellow card, cheers, wins all sorts of money, but.
I didn't watch the game live, but I saw it come on the old flash scores.
Yeah.
And then when I look back on it, it was 89th minute Somerville goal.
Yeah.
90th minute Somerville yellow card. 91st minute Somerville sub.
Yeah. Just 2 and 2 together. It must have been.
Yeah, I was like, definitely shirt off.
Yeah,
shirt off or in the crowd.
So good. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, brilliant result for Leeds. They're obviously over the moon with that. And like I said, it sounds ridiculous, but Marsh. Not probably would have got sacked, but there was a high chance he could have after that game. If they got drubbed 3 or 4-0, they'd have come out of that game thinking, right, what is going on? But they've nicked it 2-1, and Marsh survives another day, doesn't he?
Marsh survives another day, and 7 years of Klopp. Questions being asked? For you?
Not me personally, an outsider looking in, but if they continue this, and I don't see why not. I don't see how he can't get away with it, but yeah, I mean... They like anyone. They want to win. They want to be successful all the time. And Klopp can't just finish mid-table and do what he's doing. Yes, and it's not all Klopp. It can't be all Klopp. There's obviously the players are.
It always comes down to the manager. That's the problem.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
You can't.
The players are out there not performing well and all sorts. And the players they usually rely on, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, are not quite the same. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I think it'll be as long as possible until that moment happens, I think, with Klopp.
Yeah, it'd be so stupid to even contemplate doing anything like that, just because who's out there? Poch. Like, he's not going to be there. He only wants to manage one team.
Yeah, he only wants Tottenham.
No, I saw some little murmurs about it, but no, he's not. It'd be stupid to go anywhere.
And like I said, those top players, Trent, 0 assists in all competitions so far. Salah... In the Premier League, has scored 4 and assisted 3. Last year, he'd scored 11 and 9 assists already at this point. So, I don't know. It's a strange one. They're big players that you expect to see the best from, and they're letting the club down, aren't they? In a minute, I think.
Well, it's like they played Man City. Was it 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And that was the Liverpool of old.
Yeah.
Where you named them players that you just named were absolutely playing 100% like they have been the last 5 years, and that's the level they can produce. Yeah. But when they don't, that's the real drop off.
Yeah, and I don't think, at the minute, I don't think teams are scared of going to Anfield, are they? Not. Yes, in the back of my mind, it's still Liverpool, but they're going there with no fear, and
and especially at home. Yeah. Like, for example, we'll probably get onto it later with the prediction. Are you semi-confident going into that game?
Oh, we should. Sunday, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sunday we not. Oh, we should win easy, but yeah, more so than ever in the game against Liverpool, I'm thinking, right, we can definitely win this game.
The best time in 5 years you got to play him.
Yeah, 100%, and yeah, it's a strange one, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't see Klopp. Klopp, they can't be getting rid of Klopp. Surely.
Before we end the little segment here, one quick question: Liverpool sitting in 9th, 8 points off top 4, game in hand. Are they going to get 4th?
I don't think that I think they'll turn it around in New Year, and they'll be. Maybe not Liverpool of old, but they'll be very good again. I don't think they'll get top 4. I can't see it. I think Arsenal, City, and then it's between Tottenham, Newcastle. I think United will be up there for that. I think there's 2 spots in the top 4 up for grabs, and I think Arsenal may not finish second, but I think Arsenal, City will
First
be top 4. No. Man City, the season, the league's done. But
no, our title challenge ends on Sunday anyway.
I hope so. I really hope so.
It ends on Sunday.
Oh, so is it a away game?
We've got Chelsea away. Yeah.
Oh no, that's why.
Yeah.
If it's at home, you might have it.
I forgot we play more home games than any other team.
Yeah, you only play at home, I think.
I fancy Liverpool. This might, you can clip this when they get knocked out the next stage, but they could go far again in the Champions League if haven't got the league to focus on.
That's the only. At the moment in the Champions League, they seem to forget what's happened at the weekend, which is probably a good thing, and they're doing well. They've got Napoli tomorrow, is it? They've got Napoli.
Yeah, they're already through, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both through, so it could be a bit of a weird result. But yeah, like you said, they could. Their full focus could be on the Champions League. You don't know.
We're just thinking, like, obviously after the World Cup, Salah's not going to the World Cup, so he gets a rest. Trent might not even go, so he can get a rest.
Yeah.
Diaz will be back from injury. Jota is injured for the World Cup, so he'll be back fit.
I think Klopp will use that. They'll, like a lot of managers will want to, but I think they'll just regroup during that period, come back in January, maybe even sign one or two in the January transfer window, and they'll go again, I think.
Yeah. That brings an end to the first part of the show, and we'll be back after the quick break.
Hello listeners, it's former England and Premier League player Matt Jarvis here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Remember to support the podcast by sharing with your friends and family and leaving that 5-star review. Now come on you Irons and stay loyal.
Moving on to United West Ham tape. United 1-0 winners.
Probably the two favourite teams in this bunker.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of love for these two sides. No, I think it was probably one of the more exciting games. A lot of people said it wasn't, but I thought it was quite a good watch. So yeah, we'll cover that tonight.
Yeah, so before the game, I text Jack, was like, what sort of result do you fancy? I said, United picking up some wins.
Yeah.
West Ham sitting in 15th, 16th, I think they were. I was like, maybe a draw or a West Ham win. He was like, no, Man United win.
All day Manchester United win.
It's like, come on, man. No.
Couldn't have West Ham getting anything from that.
West Ham haven't won there since Carlos Tevez scored in the 1-0 win in May 2007 on the last day of the season. West Ham have only picked up 3 points in 14 Premier League visits to Old Trafford, scoring 6 goals.
Yeah. And on that, quickly on Moisey, he's never won away at Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea or Liverpool. Played 70, lost 49 and drew 21 times.
That is mad, isn't it?
Bad record. That is
and that's
not just nick it by one goal or like the odd game. The amount of games Moyes done, even within that amount, like surely one time you just nicked it 1-0 or just got a scabby goal towards the end, like. Yeah.
And that's for his whole Everton career, his whole Man United career, Sunderland career, and now at West Ham.
Yeah, it's mental.
And going into the game, West Ham fans should have been pretty confident, seeing that Maguire starts his first Premier League game since the defeats against Brentford and Brighton.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done anything to warrant
he
playing
wasn't
next
good.
week.
He wasn't good at the weekend. Towards the end, he sort of made his headers and a few clearances, but again, we were talking throughout, and just he was poor. He was so poor. But he just sticks out like sore thumb. I know, like before this season, I wasn't a lover or a hater of Maguire. I just thought, just is what it is. Like he's a good centre back, standard Premier League English centre half. But this year, bloody hell, you notice it so much. And the weekend against West Ham, he just
plays like a rugby player playing football.
And he's
got no grace about him, has he?
There's no just no elegant play. He's just an absolute lump. And
especially when he's replaced Varane, who's like a Rolls Royce defender.
Yeah.
And him and Varane and Martinez have struck up a really good partnership there. Maguire's like a bulldozer who just but he got away with a couple of chances.
Yeah, and when he's on the ball, they want to play it from the back, and he's just not capable of it either. He gets it and he's just pointing at the other side, like panicking. Please use the other side. Use left all the time. But yeah, not a great.
He wants to press high, but then doesn't press not high enough, and then caught him in no man's land. Just looks stupid.
Yeah.
But I thought Man United started the game really well.
Yeah.
Ronaldo had a couple of shots. Rashford had a couple of shots before he headed in. Was it Dallow's cross? Eriksen's cross.
Brilliant. Similar to Gallagher, really. Like just a lot of time on the ball, but a brilliant ball and perfect cross to attack really for Rashford, wasn't it? It was like a Ronaldo-esque header, wasn't it? Leapt, got up early, lots of hang time, and just powered it home really.
Because prior to that, he had literally the same chance with the header, which I thought he would score, but it went straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But no, cracking goal, and that was his 100th Manchester United goal, and he became the 22nd player from Man United to do so. Yep,
and only the 11th player produced by the club to do so.
And he was the first player since who to do so? To score 100 goals for Man United.
Rooney?
Wayne Rooney,
yeah. because I've got that you're saying about 22 players, the likes of Rooney, Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy. So he's done it in a few more games than most, but yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to do.
Marcus Rashford scored a first half goal for the first time since April 2001. Each of his last 12 goals have come in the second half of matches. And the stat I still can't get over, which blows my mind, is Manchester United have never lost a Premier League game at Old Trafford when they've been ahead at half time.
That,
like, ever.
Yeah, and I think that came up a few weeks ago, when they were playing you, but yeah, that is ridiculous.
Like,
that's ridiculous.
Like, ever.
Yeah, in the same way I was saying about Moyes never won at Chelsea United, but like that record there, how's a team not just turned it around and just nicked a goal towards the end?
Like,
that's mental.
Man United have been horrific since 2013 when Fergie left.
And still not,
like, fair enough, it was just a Fergie stat. I'd be like, yeah, that's fair enough, because you were good then.
Yeah.
Even David Moyes never did that. Never lost a game.
Yeah.
Van Gaal never did one. Ryan Giggs, when he was there, never did one after that. I think they played one game and still lost.
Yeah.
Ollie never did it. Like, how have they
and
got
some
all
of the
this
players
far?
have had in that period as well. Yeah, so true.
It's a stat that it's just mind-boggling,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's quite a cool one for them.
Mm.
The second half, I thought West Ham improved.
Yeah, it was a typical. I think it was a sort of what they've done all season, West Ham. Like I said earlier, but I've said it before about West Ham that in their away games, they sort of first half they sort of just bide their time,
Feel out the opposition.
yeah,
a
do a little bit of defending. They do enough to be in the game, and then slowly as it goes on and on, they start to build their confidence and attack more. Players like Ben Rama get on the ball more, and they pose a bit of a threat. And you just think if you'd done that for 20 minutes longer or half hour longer, they'd probably win a few games and get a few more points. They're actually not a terrible side, but I just don't think the way Moisey plays and wants to play away, he just doesn't allow him to do that, really.
I thought Skamaka had a poor game. He got
quiet.
hooked about 55, 60 minutes in the end.
It's to do with his yellow, though. I think he got
because he was close to.
Mm.
Oh, he could. I would say no. That was never a red card.
No,
but the second
it was
yellow.
a high boot, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I'm thinking at the top of my head quickly. Mane got sent off for that, didn't he? Once.
Yeah.
I mean, you could never ever a second yellow,
No.
but.
But I think it was the right. Obviously,
Yeah.
initially the West Ham supporters were probably annoyed, but when you're there in the stadium, you probably don't really have a grasp of what's going on. But I think it's the right decision from Moyes. They're just frustrated.
I thought Antonio looked dangerous, more dangerous.
Yeah, he's just similar. He's just a lump, isn't he? He just runs around, causes havoc. He might score, he might spoon it out for a throw in, but yeah, he's definitely a good sub to have, definitely. But yeah, I think they'd like to have seen Skamaka play a bit longer.
I think their best player on the day for me was Ben Rama.
Yeah,
I thought he played really well. That lovely skill past Casemiro, who was always looking to get on the ball, take a player on, put some dangerous crosses. But they just lack that cutting edge, I think, West Ham.
Yeah, and they go 1-0 down, and they're just, the way they play is a bit like, well, bloody hell, what do we do now? Like if they don't score from a corner, they're not really likely to score. And yeah, corners and set pieces, they're so dangerous that it's ridiculous. But
I mean, I'd say probably last 20 minutes West Ham were bang on top, and they did deserve an equaliser, but were unable to beat.
Yeah, saying all that, I don't know how they hadn't scored.
They were unable to beat an inspired David De Gea.
Ridiculous how they didn't score.
Who didn't get the 55-man Spain squad.
Yeah, that's pretty mad. In saying saying what we said about England, like how's De Gea not top 55 players in Spain? How's that not?
You know they played the Brighton goalkeeper ahead of him.
Really? And then what about the Brentford? Is he got in?
And David Raya as well, yeah.
Because I know they don't. He's not their number one De Gea. Like they play a guy who plays in
Bill
Spain.
Bowen, the fact
you said those two, Sanchez and Raya from Brentford and Brighton, is pretty mad. But yeah, he was very good, wasn't he? He just had similar to Meslier against Liverpool, wasn't he? Just a good goalkeeper performance. Had one of those nights and nothing was getting past him.
And he's slowly getting some form back now. And this is the main reason I wanted West Ham to get a result there, because I think Man United are now turning into a tough to beat team. Ten Hag's slowly getting his thoughts across as a manager, and they're improving, look more solid. Martinez is playing really, really well at the moment.
They've won 11 of the last 15, so. And yes, they got absolutely smashed by City, but 18 other sides in the Premier League will do that. So that's neither here nor there. It just is what it is. But yeah, apart from that game, they've been sadly quite good.
They sit in 5th, 12 games, 7 wins, 2 drawn, and 3 losses. And it's the first time this season they sit in the league with a positive goal difference, +1. And like I said, in the last 5, won 3, drawn 2, and they're 5th, 3 points off you in third with a game in hand.
Yeah, and they're not. That's what I was saying. They're not like vintage United. Like, yes, they're back, and Man United of old are back. But Ten Hag's come in. He's brought in a couple players: Martinez, Anthony. They've bought a world-class player in Casemiro, and they are, like you said, they are just.
He's dropped Maguire.
Yeah, got rid of Maguire, brought in Varane, playing Varane next to Martinez, a world-class centre back with a player that Ten Hag absolutely loves, and he's proving lots of people wrong, including myself, that he's absolutely a brilliant centre back. And they are, Old Trafford now is again what it was. Just you don't want to go there and play, basically.
Quick one, you brought up his name, Anthony.
Yes.
After his
his pirouette.
His pirouette on Thursday. Yes or no? You haven't.
It just doesn't bother me. Like, it's so irrelevant.
Yeah, it's so inoffensive for me. But
when Tottenham's right backs doing no look passes off the pitch, Anthony can do whatever he wants.
I quite like it. I quite like it. And I also really like the passes horrific as well.
Yeah, he does it, and then like Real just lumps it off the pitch and then carries on.
Yeah.
It is. It just is what it is. And there's videos like Nani used to do it in the past. And Ronaldo used to do a million step overs for no reason, and they were absolutely fine. Crack on, lads. That's good. But Anthony does it in his first few games and gets slaughtered. Like,
I mean, he does look like one of them people you just want to slap, but he's just. I don't mind.
I mean, don't want you doing it every single game and every time you get the ball, but it is what it is. Like, crack on.
I mean, it's such a pointless skill. You don't gain anything
he's
from
done
it.
nothing. The defender's not like, he's done a mad skill, or you haven't beat anyone. But it's very bizarre, and you got to have so much confidence and self-belief to do that. Like,
the one time is like
mental.
sort of like 2 times completely pointless.
Yeah. But you wouldn't even, like, you on a Monday night, you wouldn't go to like 6-side and play with the lads and start doing that, would you? You just wouldn't. And there's no one watching. It means absolutely nothing. But Anthony's
I got moaned out when I did kick ups once.
Yeah, exactly. And right, rightly so. But
Jake was like, "What are you doing that in a fucking 6-a-side for?"
Anthony's doing it with millions of people watching. So I don't think he deserves the backlash from it. And Ten Hag's got to come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna crack down it," blah blah. But I'm sure he could not care less.
Yeah. As long as he wins, as long as he keeps scoring. Ronaldo back in the team against West Ham. He did all right.
Yeah, he wasn't. I think he's probably. I mean, he's probably more disappointed for himself because he just wants to score. He's just that play. Just all he wants to do is score, and then he didn't really get the chances, did he? But I don't think he was detrimental to their performance at all. He worked as hard as anyone else, I think, and he just didn't score. So Ronaldo's name is not in the papers, is it really?
And Rashford scoring again. I think it's his 6th goal of the season now, is it?
Yeah.
So four above Nketiah.
Yeah. Is that what's happened there with the old Eddie?
No, I haven't got exact numbers, but he'll be back. Yes, like I said,
when he scores a hat trick, we'll hear about it.
He's won a hat trick away against. All we need is get a nice low league team. Mate, we got Zurich on. We got Zurich on Thursday. Come on, Eddie's bags.
Yeah, but then I mean, he hasn't. He's played a lot in the Europa League, hasn't he? I think has he started every game.
He started every game.
He hasn't played every minute, but he hasn't quite. I think he's disappointed yourself, hasn't he?
No, his season's still young. He's won hat-trick against a low league team.
Yeah.
FA Cup, let's get buddy non-league.
Third round at home.
Third round at home like usual. We might even win the FA Cup, so we probably play more games.
Yeah, I think the finals at Emirates this year. So.
I mean, he's sponsored by Emirates. But I think Ten Hag's doing a really good job there.
Yeah.
West Ham struggling a little bit this season. They haven't really got going, but I think they'll be right for that. They're qualified in the next round of the Europa Conference League.
I think that's their main focus. I think, but
a top half finish and a run in that competition is a good.
I think
good
they'll
run
be
for
absolutely
them.
fine if they get far in. If they go deep in the competition, like I said, top 9, 8 teams in the Prem, they'll be absolutely fine. Just their last 5, it sums them up: 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw. Liverpool, United away. It's just sort of standard, isn't it, really, for West Ham? It is what it is. Just they're more than happy to. They'll carry on, just plod along and be mid-table, I think.
Yeah. I think that's everything I've got on that game. I think you've got anything more to add?
Nothing.
We'll run through the rest of the results.
Just Skamaka on 2 goals. That's all I'll say.
How'd you say his name?
Skamaka. Gianluca Skamaka.
Yeah, so we go from Manchester United to Man City. Early kick-off on the Saturday, Leicester 0, Manchester United 1. not really much to shout out home about, apart from the absolute worldie of a free kick from De Bruyne.
Yeah. And Haaland didn't play, did he?
Yeah,
so
and I think
FPL in the mud.
Leicester slowly improving.
Yeah, I think, like we said, they had a nice run of fixtures. Man City at home, they're not fussed, are they? As long as they don't get slapped, which they didn't. So.
Yeah, 1-0 loss to Man City is very respectable.
Is what it is,
Bournemouth 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3.
Rodrigo Benzcore, that's all I have to say.
Well,
No,
if it wasn't for the Viking making the assist for the first goal.
It was a typical, exactly what we've been the whole season. I didn't see it, but first half sounds like we were just awful once again, as per usual. 2-0 down after 50 minutes. And then, Højbjerg plays a nice ball through to Sessegnon, who made a good run, stayed on side, and 3-1, we're back, 2-1, sorry, we're back in the game. And, I think second half we just basically had nothing to lose. We had to go for it, and we sort of, squirmed our way over the line and got a 3-2 win, which on paper looks good, but I think, it was very, very,
very
poor.
messy, Conte actually brought on some attackers for once and not wing-backs or defenders.
Yeah, it was...
So Son's back, not Son, Lucas is back from injury now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing right now as we play Marseille away. I think he started, Yeah, Lucas is back, and he's not a brilliant player, but it's just another option that we need, really, and I think he's loved for Tottenham for other reasons, and obviously Ajax semi-final, you can't ever take that away from him. But really, he's not a good European player at all.
So since the start of last season, Spurs have scored more 90th minute winners away from home than any other side.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that. It doesn't feel that way, but I mean, good. I suppose it's good, but then it's probably so frustrating because for 90 minutes you've been awful, or you're so annoyed you're not in the game, and then you go and nick a winner. But
I mean, I don't know the other 3 games, but I swear all 3 of them are probably against Man City.
Yeah.
So you always score in 90th minute.
Bergwijn, Leicester away, but it
would have been that, and then Man City last year, Kane and
it's not a bad little stat, but same old Tottenham really.
Brentford 1, Wolves 0. Brentford 1, Wolves 1.
It was nothing in there. It was basically a 0-0.
It was a 2-minute game, wasn't it? Ben Mee scored a bicycle kick out of
Ben
nowhere.
Mee turned up.
Neves scored his trademark goal outside the box, first time finish, and then Costa got his first ever red card in the Premier League.
Costa was doing nothing all game. Thought, I was going to headbutt someone and get sent off.
So he could be. He's not my loser of the week, but he was very close.
He could have quite easily been.
They've signed him to score goals for them. Hasn't scored any goals. Been sent off, 3-game ban. Now he's out to after the World Cup.
And it was just a nothing game as well. Like Wolves, Brentford. There's no malice. It's not a feisty old game. And then you see the red card. And he's off the ball. Just keeps nutting until the ref stops it and gets sent off. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre.
Palace 1, Southampton 0. Edouard scored. Not really much to write home about after this. Southampton just looked dross. Vieira's getting Palace back up the league again, and I think Palace look a pretty good team.
Yeah, it's just one of them, and I think that sort of game, and similar to the Brentford Wolves, it just gets forgotten about, really, doesn't it?
Newcastle 4, Aston Villa 0. Newcastle winning again and scoring a lot more goals, a lot of goals again at St James's Park. Yeah,
I think we'll talk about a couple of their players later on, but Wilson scores twice, and it's good, aren't they? Good side, Newcastle.
Joe Linton and Almiron with another special goal.
Clean sheet for Newcastle again. They're just sitting in fourth, aren't they? In a minute.
Emery's got lots of work to do there.
Yeah, Villa. That's a tough place to get the job.
Very and tough. Obviously Martinez, how long he's out for with his concussion.
Yeah, quickly on that was bad. Wasn't it?
That was bad.
I mean, the referee in that could have been loser of the week or the physio, however they decide. That is the concussion protocol. There obviously isn't one, but it needs to be addressed. That is poor. He played for 35, 40 minutes after, and then obviously should not have been on the pitch and gets taken off.
Playing for that cross was no.
It's not good to see, is it? Because that person in that moment has no idea what is going on. Anything could happen to him. So it's pretty poor.
Fulham 0, Everton 0. Skip.
Awful. It was on telly. 5:30 game. Awful game. Awful.
Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0.
Skip.
Arsenal have won 9 consecutive Premier League games and their first home clean sheet of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Arsenal have won Arsenal won a Premier League game by 5 goals for the first time since Arsene Wenger left. And we won't go too much on Reiss Nelson because I've got some things on him a bit later, but obviously took the lead after 5 minutes. Another Saka assist
Mm-hmm.
from Martin. It was a great little goal, that.
Yeah.
And then he got injured, and he put Nelson on. I thought, that's surprising. But you had Fabio Vieira, who can play off the right. Nketiah, I thought he would probably be the one he'd pick on, or Marquinhos, who he's been playing as well.
Has Nelson played at all in the Prem this year?
No.
So far, yeah.
No,
it's
he's played
bizarre.
3 games in the Europa League.
And again, talking about fantasy, but 2 people
Who
and captain.
captained him.
What? You must be Reiss Nelson's brother and sister, because who in their right mind is doing that?
Well, he tweeted out and he was like, I'll have mad respect for this. Can you let me know who it was? I want to give you a shirt.
Ridiculous. Like you said, he has not played a single minute, and then someone's going, you know what, I'm going to captain him this week. It's ridiculous, but yeah, it was good little performance.
Partey, great goal. Very basically a carbon copy of the Spurs game.
Yeah,
Spurs
he'll never do it again, but he does it. He does it at the weekend. So
and Odegaard rounded it off.
yeah,
It's
but it is what it is, isn't it?
I do think Forest at home is a guaranteed 3 points for any team.
It's
away, tough game like we saw Liverpool.
Yeah,
and
I
that
think
basically rounds up the weekend's games. We'll have a quick break and we'll be back with question time, winner, loser, and team of the week.
Hello listeners, it's former England and Premier League player Matt Jarvis here. Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Remember to support the podcast by sharing with your friends and family and leaving that 5-star review. Now come on you Irons and stay loyal.
Welcome back. We're going to start off with question time with our fans' questions that they've sent in, and I think it's proven quite a popular little segment. So yeah, we're going to continue.
Yeah, we debuted it last week, and we've got another. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6, 7 people tuned in.
Yeah, it was
for some
decent.
questions.
Yeah,
So if you want your question answered by the dynamic duo,
Yeah. our hugely strong opinions, then feel free. But yeah, we'll start off. Sam Gerry, our Cornish Red, our Man United fan who's down in Cornwall. But and he's give us one. He says, choose from the current Premier League managers, one you go to war with, one you have as a stepfather, and one you have as a landlord at your local pub.
Very good question, Sam. Very good question. So, go to war with. I quite fancy Conte, you know.
Initially I thought but that's my first thought.
I'm just told off the top of my head because I haven't.
Yeah. It's hard to...
The rules of question time is no homework.
Yeah, this is
off the cuff.
off the cuff as it gets, so... I'm trying to have a quick...
I know stepfather one. I thought of my head for stepfather, jumping ahead is Graham Potter.
I'm going to go with... Go to war with... I'm going to stick with... I'm going to go with Conte. He's a bit of a nutter, isn't he? I think he loves it. He'll run for
He'd
a
fight
bit
your corner
war.
for you.
Yeah, I'd go with... Antonio Conte for me.
Stepfather. I'm torn between Mikel and...
He's-
Mikel, but it'd be Graham Potter, I think. He ain't cheating on your mum.
No, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not Moisey. It can't be Moisey.
If it's Moisey, mate, you've got a bedtime curfew at 6.
Yeah, Potter's quite a good one.
Pep's too passionate for me. I wouldn't want that.
I couldn't have Arteta. Slimy little Spanish weasel. No chance. Get out.
Emery.
Good evening. Imagine that every time you sit down for dinner. Good evening.
No. Mine be Graham Potter.
I'll try to have a look.
We do apologise if you can hear any.
There is a huge storm
cutting outside, but there's very little we can do about it.
So if you get any noise from that, we apologise. But it's difficult. Very difficult.
Frank Lampard?
No chance. Not Fat Frank. I'm going to go Newcastle, Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe, nice
Stepfather,
mate. Yeah,
solid.
It's a good one. And have as a landlord as your local. I've got Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank? What is your reasoning behind Thomas Frank?
He just looks mad. He's like a Lockie and lads get in. although if he was if he was the local landlord, I imagine all he serves is like poppy crafted ales.
Well, I'm going to go with...
There's no lagers or just...
I'm going to go with Jesse Marsh from Leeds.
You want a Budweiser? You want a Bud Light? Bud Light.
Because, here's my reasoning. Imagine Jesse Marsh, you're in Danbury or Chelmsford, wherever you are in the world, pops into your local and there's a big yank. He's got a big foam finger. We're number one. We're number one. He's turned your local, for example, to Griffin, He's turned that into an absolute all guns blazing sports bar. He's got TVs galore. He's got chicken wings,
burger joint.
He's got burgers coming out of the kitchen like no tomorrow. He's got and also you can influence him what you get for on tap. So he might have Bud Light. He might have Coors Light. Keystone Light. He might have all these rubbish, but I reckon you get his ear like, go on, mate, stick with Stella on, Peroni, Madri on, mate, Beer Moretti. You could have a proper.
They might persuade a Stella, but I don't think you're getting a Madri out of Jesse Marsh.
Imagine him as well. You could have all sorts of holidays, Thanksgiving. You could have all of it. I mean, Halloween, he'd probably throw some ridiculous party going on. New Year's with Marsh. That's what I want. I want a New Year's Eve spent with Marsh.
That's a very, very good answer, and thank you, Sam,
cheers,
for
Sam.
your question. So next, Callum Doyle. Callum Doyle 6 on Instagram, if you'd like to follow him. 3 questions with the World Cup looming. Starting 11. I think we should do a joint one.
Yeah, we'll do a joint
you name a player,
one.
I name a player.
Too long. Okay, goalkeeper for me, Pickford.
Right back.
Hang on. Are we going to play 4? What's the formation? Or are you just going to go players and go from that?
Yeah, we'll go from that.
Okay.
Right back. Is Kyle Walker going to be fit?
Apparently so. According to Pep.
Kyle Walker fits.
Kyle Walker's in. John Stones.
Ben White.
Ben White. Oh, ooh, okay. Left back.
Oh, I'm leaving up to you if you want a third centre back.
Well, you could. I could go anywhere. I could just go Kane's in. I'll go left back. Chilwell.
Okay. Rice.
Bellingham.
Saka on the right.
Harry Winks. No. So, okay. Rice, Bellingham, Saka, Foden,
Sterling.
Kane. You can argue that, can you? Yes. I mean, I'd probably change a couple of those, but
Well, just the 2 I picked.
just the 2 Arsenal players. But no, they're thereabouts. That's as good as it gets, I think.
Howe or Potter for the next England manager? Who would you rather? And ironically, I don't think either would leave their current jobs to go for that job.
No, and I wouldn't say there's too much in them, really. Maybe
I'd say Potter for me personally.
yeah. I was going to say Howe. So, it's not. I wouldn't say Howe's a ridiculous better than Potter, or Potter's any worse or any better than Howe. Just much of a muchness. I think they're both young, both English, and trying different things, and they're not your standard like Neil Warnock, Sam Allardyce, are they? So. Yeah, I wouldn't say either or, but also I think the next England manager, if it was one of them, you'd be pleasantly surprised, pleasantly happy with that. I think.
How would Gareth Southgate do as a Premier League manager?
Awful,
relegated, bottom 5.
Absolutely awful.
So he's managed Middlesbrough for in the league, and he weren't great. I do think if he was just to get a job off the top of my head, maybe a Crystal Palace, probably the highest club he could.
There was talk. There was a lot. I mean, it could be paper, and obviously things get churned up. But when we were looking, it was talk of Southgate, wasn't there?
No, it's such a.
I'm glad we never went near him.
Uninspiring appointment it would have been.
Imagine that, Southgate, bloody hell. Our players didn't even like Mourinho, so they're not going to like Southgate, are they? So
nowhere near top 6 for me. Nowhere near.
No, Southgate, not for me.
So thank you, Callum, for your questions.
Thanks, mate. Again.
Panel 93. Hello, Jake. Who is the bigger club, West Ham or Chelmsford City? As you may tell, he is a Spurs fan.
Yeah. Well, I won't answer that. I think we all know who's the bigger club.
And Jake's always shout out Jake's son Lucas.
Yes.
Jake was teaching his son a special song at the weekend. Don't know if you want to serenade it, Jack.
I'll do it I won't do it as impression. I'll just Chelsea get battered everywhere they go.
And his little is he 4 now, Jake? I think he is.
He's only little, but
he was teaching him Chelsea to get battered.
Yeah, he's putting through a life of misery already. But Spurs fan early doors, so good on him. But loved the video, Jake. Loved it.
I think West Ham probably edged that one.
Yeah,
for me personally.
Just.
Jack sang through gritted teeth.
Yeah, I mean they both have an athletics track around their stadium, so.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And a new member to Question Time, our first female guest, Get Some Grace. I've got no idea who this girl is.
Quality.
Quality. So she's asked a few questions, so we'll run through them very quickly. Why are Manchester United and Man City not the same team if they're in the same city? Very good question. I think a lot of Man United fans would rather they just combine teams and go back to the glory days.
And all their money, and they'll be absolutely fine.
Is Michael Owen the best footballer? Question mark.
Whatever, or just
question
mark. Question mark. Just it's like a full stop. Just that's it.
To be fair, he was once the best footballer.
Yeah, he was once.
He did win a Ballon d'Or. I think this question is aimed at you, Jack, because she knows the answer to this one. For me, are you single?
Yes. Yeah, still single.
You're the reason I'm single.
Meow.
Oat milk or normal milk?
Normal.
Neither.
That's a good question.
And would you rather be bitten by Sanchez, I think she means Suarez, or kicked by David Beckham's left foot?
Oh, both are horrible. Where are you getting kicked? What part of the
I would say on
anatomy?
the shin. Or you got kicked in the same bit that he's biting you at.
Okay. So, where's Suarez biting you? On his shoulder or arm or?
Where's he bitten people before? Neck?
I'll take the kick.
Yeah,
as long as it's not in your nuts, I'll take the kick.
I'll take the kick. I don't want
Or your
Suarez's
face.
ratty teeth around in my skin.
Oh, yeah, all the
So,
disease.
Thank you, Grace, for them 5 quick fire questions.
They were great, Grace. Thank you.
Liamo_52. Your 3 teams that will be relegated from the Prem and why?
Right, the current bottom 3 we have Forest, Wolves, and Leicester.
I think at the beginning of the season, who did you have?
I had Bournemouth, Fulham, and Leeds. So I'm going to change mine. I think we said it previously, but I'll go Forest, Leeds. I'll stick with Leeds and Bournemouth. Forest to go down as well. So Forest, Leeds, Bournemouth for me.
No, that sounds good.
What about yourself?
I had Forest, Leeds, and Bournemouth. I think.
Yeah.
I think my bottom 3. I'd maybe swap Wolves in there.
Yeah, Wolves are struggling massively.
I would say Bournemouth may stay up, and I'd put Wolves in there.
Sorry, I'm just looking now. Wolves. Guess how many goals Wolves have scored?
4.
6. They've scored 6 and conceded 19. Forest have scored more. I mean, Forest scored 8, but 6 goals, that is awful. Bloody hell. But yeah.
No.
Yep, I'm going to go with Bournemouth and Leeds and Forest rock bottom.
Right, thank you for that, Liam. And then the next question is from a Sandon legend. And his debut shout on the pod.
Yes.
Andy Houghton, AP Houghton 3.
Nice to
Thank you for your question, Andy. Danbury legend.
Yeah, Danbury hero.
Thoughts on Emery's appointment at Villa? I think it was a good bit of business.
I think Arsenal, he's been given everyone assumes he was awful at Arsenal, but he actually wasn't.
Assumes?
He wasn't terrible. He wasn't awful in terms of really what happened, was he? Fifth in the league, 8th, and he got you to Europa League final. I know he didn't win, but it's not awful, is it? Manager's done a lot worse than that before.
Oh, I know, but them last 5-6 games.
But I think it'd be okay. Like Villa again, they're only going to go a certain height. I think maybe top 8 is like an ultimate aim for them. So I think they'll be mid-table, 10th to 13th. Something. Yeah, I think they'll be fine. Emery won't set the world alight, but
I think it's a strange one for me. Unless his grasp of English, this sounds really bad, but unless his grasp of English got better, I can't see it going I don't really see it going anywhere.
Yeah, and this one, I don't like. I agree with you. I just don't. I don't know.
His communication with Arsenal was awful.
Yeah,
I think he'd do better than Gerrard, but I don't know. But then, like we said, what are Villa?
Yeah, what are they expecting? What do they want? Yeah, what do they want?
10th in a cup run?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see. I think as soon as he gets in there, they'll soon start to perk up with Man United at home on Sunday.
Yeah,
if they get a result there, then
in charge against United. So yeah, we'll see. But then, like we said earlier, Villa are in a dire situation. Their players don't even look like Mings. Oh,
yeah,
Tyro Mings.
Or even like Coutinho, like he sat on the bench for like 70 minutes. So what do you do with Coutinho?
Yeah.
Does he really want to play? Does he really want to live in Birmingham?
No, probably not.
Is he the right club for Aston Villa?
No.
Like, what do you do with him?
January could be a big moment for them. They might need to get rid of a couple and also bring in a couple, which is obviously incredibly difficult.
Emery's proven he doesn't get on well with players like Coutinho. He had Ozil. The first thing he didn't want to play him.
And would the players that he's managed previously at Villarreal. Would they come over to Villa? Is that what he's going to try and do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a very strange one.
He'll definitely bring a few Spanish, as he always does.
Yeah.
And on our final question, Andy_Boyden.
Boyden.
Do you know this, guys?
No idea.
But he has a very good question. Should Rashford go to the World Cup? If no, who should go instead?
I think he should. I think he will. I
think he will, and I think he
he should. Yeah. He'll he's picked up form recently, but he'll play until the World Cup. Obviously, it's 2 or 3 games away now, but yeah, I think Rashford will go, and I think he should go. I think he's a good option. He's different to what a lot of players offer. He's direct. He's quick. Yeah, I quite like Rashford. So yeah.
I mean, for me, he should go, and instead of saying who should go instead, who he should replace, who's been in the squad the last couple of times, would be Jared Bowen for me.
Yeah, Bowen.
I don't think he has deserved a place in the squad this time round. Maybe last season, he had a really good season last season, but I think Rashford's been Man United's best player, and
and if he scores a couple more, then he'll be in good form. So yeah, Rashford for me.
Yeah, and again, that wraps up question time. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Very good questions again,
and we'll hopefully continue this next week.
Yes.
So let's roll on to Team of the Week. Do you want to start this one off, Joe?
Yeah, we'll have a little discussion about Team of the Week. Obviously over the weekend games and stuff, and it's hard with fixtures if it's late on a Sunday. But yeah, again, I think this week is pretty sort of speaks for itself, doesn't it? Really. Start off with a goalie, Meslier in goal from Leeds. Obviously made 9 saves against Liverpool, and like I said earlier, just similar to the Gea, he just had one of those evenings. I think, and just nothing.
Yes, nothing was going to get past him, was he?
He was, just everything he was getting to his long-limbed goalie, wasn't he? Brilliant performance, really.
And like we said earlier, 9 saves in the Premier League match was the most by any goalkeeper this season.
Yeah, it was good.
I think he deserved to get in there.
Yeah, he's good. And he's young, isn't he? He's young, and he plays in a very, very poor side. But yeah, against Liverpool, he turned it on.
Moving on to defence, Diego Dalot. Started every single game for Ten Hag since he's been manager. I mean, that speaks volumes of Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, Christ, yeah.
But he's quietly gone about his business this season.
I think in the game itself, I saw a little thing. He won 100% aerial duels, 7 duels won, created 4 chances, 4 tackles, 3 interceptions. So that game, he was all action, and I think Neville and the commentators were going on throughout the game, but you just noticed every header or last-ditch tackle, wherever it was, Dalot was either there or thereabouts, and it was just defended really, really well.
And like I said, it was Neville. I think it was Neville Carragher brought up in the commentary the amount of aerial challenges he was winning, especially at the back post when Antonio was coming in.
Always pop up. Always, Dalot would just be above everyone, heading the ball away. Just very, very good game.
And then the other defender we've got is went to the vote actually, didn't it?
Yeah.
Trippier, Tyreek Mitchell, and Ben Mee. Trippier won by an absolute landslide, 87%.
Yeah, it's good.
Clean sheet and another lovely assist for Wilson's second goal.
Yeah.
And looking very, very good this season.
Yeah,
definitely in the England squad.
That has to. I think he probably will start as well.
Yeah.
If Walker's not
or left back
left back either or. 1-0.
Wow.
1-0 Marseille.
Is that Chancellor Mbemba?
It is.
The old Newcastle player. 1-0 Marseille. 46th minute.
Here we go. Well done, Tottenham. But yeah, Trippier, very good season so far. Just solid player. Made Newcastle a lot better, and gets in the side.
Yeah, no, well done, Kieran. I'm sure Spurs fans would like to have you back.
Yes.
But you have
got all right tonight defending that.
You've got Emerson Royale instead. Moving on to the midfield, and I'd like to start this one. Reiss Nelson.
Yeah, you can take this one away.
Came on off about 20 minutes and was surprised. He was the person to be picked, and scored 2 goals, 2 very well taken goals as well. And an interesting stat here: there were 2 years and 107 days between Nelson's first Premier League goal against Liverpool in 2020 and his second goal at the weekend. But between his second and third, there were just 3 minutes and 1 second, like London buses.
It's good. Yeah, it was like you said earlier, it was a strange one. Like, quite simple. Why is he playing? But he's come on and had a good game, isn't he? Very bizarre.
Interestingly, when Arteta first took over in 2019, he was part of the front three that played I think he played like 25 games that season, his first season. Unfortunately for him, the signing of Willian completely killed him.
Yeah.
That made him like fourth choice winger. He then didn't go on loan, and then last year was on loan at Feyenoord. So we lost him for 2 years. He's got a really bad injury record.
Yeah.
Very rarely fit. 23 now, I think he's maybe 22, turning 23. There's a player in there somewhere. I don't think at Arsenal's level.
No. Do you think he'll play more this season, or just similar to what he is now, just sort of bench?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, if Smith Rowe's fit, he's not playing.
Yeah.
Like, if Saka was injured, that would be Smith Rowe coming on.
Yeah.
Or
Do you reckon that's why maybe he's not at another club? Is because Arteta's seen injuries and...
Yeah, probably, yeah. We needed some sort of squad.
Keep
Like, he's
evolving.
great for Europa League. Like,
Yeah.
Zurich at home, when you don't need to play Saka, you don't need to play Martinelli, you
Yeah.
play him. Like,
Yeah.
he's a far capable player of doing that.
Yeah.
Like, he would be a good player for Everton, West Ham,
Yeah.
Palace, that sort of good
Yeah.
player for them. And moving on to the next one was Trossard, wasn't it?
Yeah, Trossard, like we said earlier, scored a goal at the weekend. That's his 7th of the season. So, yeah, another goal against a big, obviously considered the big six, and yeah, he pops up with another goal, doesn't he? So, yeah, slotted in next to Nelson.
And up top, the player we arguably thought should have been last week,
Yeah.
Callum Wilson, not Danny Ings. Come on,
Yeah.
fans, we love you, fans, but
Yeah, come on. Start watching the football.
Callum Wilson. So, quick question, yes or no?
What, England?
Yeah.
Yes.
Over Tony or with Tony?
I reckon a
They're
trio.
your three.
Yeah, Kane, Tony, Wilson.
Mm.
Yeah, he's in good form, isn't he? And that's, again, obviously with the World Cup round the corner, everyone, that's what they immediately go to.
Mm.
But, yeah, 2 goals at the weekend, 6 so far this season.
Could have
2
had a
assists
hat-trick as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hit the bar.
Yeah, and I think Tony scored 8, and then Wilson's the next highest scoring in the Prem, highest scoring English striker with 6. So he's doing well, and he's a different option. He's more mobile. He throws himself about a bit. So
And he's another good penalty taker.
yeah, I think he's good. He's a solid player. And again, within that Newcastle side, they've got a few English players, haven't they? Trippier, Byrne, Wilson, all doing well. So yeah, no, that's our team of the week. So Melia, Dalot, Trippier, Nelson, Trossard, and Wilson.
Yeah, I think it's a good little team. And should we move on to winner and loser of the week?
Yeah, let's go for it. Do you want to start us off on the winner?
Yes.
Or do you want to start on loser?
I'll go start my winner. So, you won't know this man. You may have seen it online. My winner is @_Alex Williamson. For what I'm going to show you now is the Wayne Rooney Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the picture? I just showed you.
Yeah.
When we finally get
quite
up on YouTube, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
We could shot this up there. I will tag him in this.
Imagination is ridiculous.
It's for those who can't see. It is the picture of Wayne Rooney walking down the streets. I think it's of LA, in short shorts, his Cortex vest, sunglasses, and licking a giant bloody lolly. Gobstopper lolly.
Gobstopper lolly and just Brit abroad.
Absolutely outrageous behaviour from Wayne, but the Halloween costume is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very good.
In sandals as well.
Yeah, there's been a few that's popped up, but yeah, I saw that one. It's very good winner of the week.
Fantastic, Alex.
I've gone a bit more related to football as such. I've gone for Flamengo of Brazil. Saturday they won I probably butchered the pronunciation, but they won the Libertadores.
Very, very well done.
1-0 win against Atletico PR, who are a fellow Brazilian side. They're sort of mid-table, I think, but reached the final. So it's the highest level of South American football. Flamengo last won it in 2019. Before that, it was 1981. And also this season, they won the Copa do Brazil, which is essentially the FA Cup of Brazil, I think. And the main reason I chose them, obviously winning that is great, that's fantastic, but some of their squad are almost forgotten players of football. So they've got David Luiz, 35 years old, over 200 appearances in the Prem. Felipe Luiz, 37 years old, remembered more for his time at Atletico Madrid. Vidal is 35 years old.
Alex Vidal, no, Arturo Vidal.
Arturo Vidal,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Over 100 appearances for Juve, obviously played for Bayern Munich. And Diego, 37 years old, the Brazilian little
From
midfielder.
Wolfsburg.
Yeah, Wolfsburg. I mean, yeah, he's known for his time in Bundesliga for Wolfsburg, and I think he might have played for Werder Bremen or something like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Just those teams, and I think David Luiz started, Felipe Luiz started, and Vidal came off the bench. Diego didn't get any time, but yeah, these sort of old school footballers have gone out there and yes, it's a lower standard, and you obviously don't see nothing about it, but yeah, they've gone out there, won a huge competition for Flamengo. Yeah, it's just pretty cool, I think.
No, that's fantastic. It's funny you bring them up as well, because Monday morning, yesterday, the storeman at work is Brazilian. He comes in right as rain. I was like, I was going to speak to you because the Brazilian election, and he was my president got in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But he goes, that's not even the main thing. The main thing is my football team's won Flamengo.
Oh, really? Yeah,
it's
that's cool.
It's Flamengo team, so he was so happy yesterday.
I don't know exactly how it works, how the competition goes into it, but they play their season. Flamengo are third, and then obviously they've gone into that and won it. So yeah, I'm sure I saw some of the pictures and celebrations. They look brilliant. But yeah, some of those players, David Luiz and things like older players. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, it's pretty cool. Don't quote me on this. Is the winner of that then? That's what goes into the Club World Cup.
They go into the Club World Cup, and is it something else? I might have got it wrong.
I don't know how that works, but
they go into that, and that's when like Chelsea might play them, or whoever wins Champions League when that happens. But
I can't believe we just pulled out Chelsea of all teams.
Well, for some reason they're the first one that comes to my head. But
probably just died then. I can just see Reiss. I can just literally see Reiss's smile in my head now.
Well, yeah, you know.
Right, no, that's a very good winner of the week. I'll go on to my loser of the week, and we touched him on earlier. I've disliked this man for quite a few years, but Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Really?
Yeah, I know the own goal. It's called the own goal. But I'll just put, please leave Chelsea. You've got more luck entering the Love Island Villa than ever forging a career at Chelsea. Like, he could go model for Boohoo or whoever he wants to go for. Go get a clothesline deal. Your Chelsea career is going nowhere, mate. You've been there like 10 years. You played 10, 15 games a season.
Yeah.
Score one or two goals.
Doesn't start play a full game. He gets subbed.
Now you're 26 years old now. I mean, no, he's still very young, but you're playing right wing back some games. Then you're playing centre back. Then you're playing centre mid. You've got 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes in a cup game. What are you doing, mate?
But he obviously wants to play because he's tried, isn't he? He went to Palace.
Yeah,
he's been at Fulham, and they haven't worked out. So
the Palace one was really, because the last time he went on loan to Palace, he was there for a year. I think it was the young player of the year for Palace, definitely. Maybe player of the year for Palace. And he got in the England World Cup squad. He was playing games for England in 2018.
Yeah.
Now he's nowhere near the squad. Especially where I would argue that maybe centre back, but definitely centre mid is a weak area in the England squad.
Yeah.
Where there is,
you got two names.
If you put a run of 10 games together, especially with Calvin Phillips out injured, you've got
to be good enough
a chance.
To get in the squad. Yeah. If Ward-Prowse gets shouts all the time, like
for someone who is 6'3", 6'4", athletic, quick. Go prove yourself something. Go play 38 games. And it just annoys me. There's obviously a player there, but not for Chelsea. They've had too many players like that who just wasted there.
And he obviously wants to go and play for Chelsea, but so like you said, he had that good year at Palace, and he's like, right, I'm going to go back to Chelsea and do this, do that, but it just doesn't happen.
Then went to Fulham, had an okay season, then came back to Chelsea, and then been back to Chelsea he's got another 3 years left in his deal.
Yeah.
But
then he's
obviously getting paid well. It's like it's a nice place to live.
Yeah. He's sitting pretty on a good wage, and like you said, West London pretty. Yeah, no, I like it. Lose the week, Loftus-Cheek. Lose the week for myself is Ipswich Town / Jordan Johnson. So on the theme of the Johnsons, Reiss with Chelsea, but yeah, this one's aimed at you, Jordan, JJ, if you're listening. Ipswich away against Charlton in League One at the weekend. Ipswich 2-0 up. All the way to the 52nd minute, and by the 76th minute it was 2-2, so Charlton pulled it back. Right, great game's on, last 20 minutes, let's see what Ipswich can do. Ipswich 4-2 up, they scored in the 91st and 94th minute. Surely the game's done. The Tractor Boys travelling back to Ipswich, 3 points, loving it, loving life.
Top of the league as well.
Top of the league there, yeah. JJ's sinking a few pints, he's happy. Lo and behold, Charlton go up the other end and score in the 96th and the 99th minute to make it 4-4. 6 minutes were added, but almost played about 10 extra, and Charlton made it 4-4. So Jordan Johnson, that one's for you. I just don't. You must have been. I just don't know how can they do that? How can Ipswich do that? They're 4-2 up with nothing left, and they draw the game. But
I've seen Arsenal be 4-2 up at the 92nd minute at home to Spurs, and
that's
you know
true.
what happened there.
That is true, but yeah, JJ. You can have that one, mate.
No, it's a very good loser of the week. And to add insult to injury, Plymouth won last night, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And they moved 4 points clear, 5 points clear.
There's some good teams at League One, big sides, but yeah, Ipswich, shocker.
Yeah. No, that's a good little winner and loser segment this week. Before we close on the teaser, me and Jack, for the last probably 5 or 6 weeks now, text each other after. So we forgot to do it again. Prediction. Right, there's 2 big games coming up on Sunday: Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs, Liverpool.
I don't mind. I think Chelsea, Arsenal's the bigger game as such. We've got Spurs on in the background playing Marseille half-time now, and we've been a disgrace. So yeah, let's talk about Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, we'll do both. Might as well put a prediction. But we'll make up for
double. Yeah, true.
The double game week.
Okay.
I'm gonna go score draw.
What's that? Tottenham.
No, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Okay, start with Chelsea, Arsenal. All right.
There's 12 o'clock kick-off out on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 games on TV: Chelsea, Arsenal, Southampton, Newcastle, and Spurs, Liverpool. I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. Okay. I'm gonna go.
They're normally quite high-scoring games at the Bridge.
I'm gonna go with a 3-1 to Chelsea. Yeah, I feel like after last week they got battered by Brighton. They play tomorrow night, is it, in Champions League? They should win at home to Zagreb. And then, yeah, all focus will be on the weekend against Arsenal. I think if they play anything like they did against us when they played us at home, then I think it's a very difficult game for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could be, like you said, it could be the title run is over for Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I think it probably will be, because if we don't win, just say we draw, for example, City have got Fulham's, that's probably, 8-0, 6-0,
yeah,
4-0.
Like that, yeah.
They'll be above us on goal difference, and then they've got Wolves, and we've got someone else, and and then that's World Cup.
And I know we joke and wind you up and stuff, but if you don't win against Chelsea, there is a little common theme going where you've played United, you've lost, drew with Southampton. And if you play Chelsea away, at home, yes, you're incredible, you are an incredible side, but I don't know, you still got to play those big sides away, so it could be the downfall.
We'll see. Hopefully not. Spurs, Liverpool.
Well, I
think you'll win.
Well, if you watch that first half there against Marseille, then no chance. But honestly, I mean, Klopp and Liverpool do not fear us one bit. So,
you going?
No, I'm actually away this weekend, so I won't be there. Probably a good thing. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1-1.
I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Kane on the double.
Oh, I can't see it. Although how bad everyone thinks Liverpool are, Tottenham are no better. Absolutely no better.
Is it going to be a Royale versus Salah masterclass?
Oh, don't. Please don't. It's awful. It's awful.
Well, at least we got our predictions in the bank.
Yeah.
And we will see what happens over the weekend. Right, let's revert back to the beginning of the show. Have you had any thoughts?
When you first said it, I had an initial...
I thought you knew it straight away when you got another
to
you.
I don't know that I know it, but my guess is Paul Robinson.
Paul Robinson is number 3.
Number 3?
Yeah, on 80 yards.
I was going to say, do you have the distance?
Yeah, of course I do, mate.
Paul Robinson, okay, because he's one against Watford, wasn't it? Ben Foster is in goal.
It's number 3, 80 yards.
Tim Howard.
Number 2, Tim Howard, 100 yards.
Was that who? Oh, okay. So Paul Robinson 3, Tim Howard 2. Who's Tim Howard against? Did you have that? Stoke.
Bolton.
But Begovic, Stoke.
Yeah.
In the basically a wind tunnel, launched it up the other end. Yeah.
Yeah, against Southampton after 11 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, quality. I like it.
So for the additional 4 and 5, so 1, 2, 3 were goalkeepers. The other 2 are outfield players.
Halfway line. Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
Chelsea away.
Yes.
For Stoke.
Yep. Common theme there of Stoke scoring.
Doing well. Halfway line. Was it Beckham?
No, it wasn't. This player's done it twice.
Oh, was it Xabi Alonso?
Yeah.
Liverpool. I can't remember against though.
Newcastle
at home. Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, it's good. Good ones. I like it.
I thought that linked well with the long distance running, long distance goals.
Yeah,
I was on the sofa thinking about what should I do for teaser this week. I was like, bingo.
No, because when I said it, obviously, when you first said it, I initially thought of Robinson, but when you actually have a think, I can picture Howard's and I can picture Begovic as well. So yeah, I like it.
I tested it out on JJ at the weekend when he's having his curry. He's had his head in his hands. He couldn't think of it.
Really?
Yeah. He was stressing. He was
Don't
like,
know.
I know it. And couldn't get it. But no, I like that one.
Yeah, it's a good
Nice
one.
and simple,
I like it.
yeah. And just for reference, Jabi Alonso, number 5, 66 yards. Charlie Adam, number 4, I think it's 66.2 yards, something like literally just over.
Yeah.
Paul Robinson, 80 yards. Tim Howard, 100 yards. And Asmir Begovic, 101 yards.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that was an absolute thump, wasn't it, from Begovic?
Mm.
It's similar with Howard's, wasn't it? They just lumped it, but the weather was perfect. It was basically what it is tonight.
It bounced over Bogdan's head.
Yeah, the ginger bar, the Bogdan, what a player.
But I think that pretty much wraps up
Yes.
episode 16.
I think that's all we've got time for, really, isn't it?
Yeah, again,
Got through a few games and some hot topics.
thank you for your questions. Thank you for your likes and subscribes last week. And
loving
continue sharing, supporting. And
Stay loyal,
yeah.
I suppose.
That's how else we close it down. But
Quickly, just like Tate said at the start about his marathon. But if you can, obviously message Tate, talk to us, and go for his link. Donate what you can, whether it is. So obviously it's next year. There's a bit of time to go, and we'll keep talking about it and do some things for it. But if you can, whatever you can do.
There will be a charity event coming up.
Yes.
It is in the works. A date is yet to be finalised. But those listeners listening, we are going to host a charity football game. 5, 6 aside.
Yeah.
It'll be local to Essex, probably Malden area. If your listeners out there want to put a team together, message us.
Yeah. Definitely. It'll give Tate more of an idea of numbers and what to expect. So in
by all ages, sexes,
abilities,
it doesn't matter. It will cater for everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you got yourself listening and you want 6 mates to play, then
by all means,
come down. And there'll be more details in a few weeks or months or whatever once we finalise numbers and locations and that. But it would definitely be a big fundraiser for the charity.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good day.
Yeah.
But all right. Thank you again
for listening.
Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.